So il risultato che voi sarete distrutti. L'eterna cima esiste solo per me. Puoi cantare canzoni di tristezza nel mondo senza tempo.
Welcome on down to another episode of Winds of Change, fellow Dazzlers and new players alike. What is going on, everybody? It's me, Russell, bringing you another episode of Winds of Change. So, for those of you who came in late, geez, whoa, a lot happened. Well, not a lot, but a lot happened. So we finally set sail for Balteus to take down the Triumvirate. That's a mouthful for you. And along the way, we almost made it until we were attacked by the Triumvirate's own fleet. We barely managed to crash through it, but not before meeting none other than Shane, who was captaining the attack. After a deadly battle with him, we decided to simply knock him out and let him survive somehow, I guess. And now we are at a shack in Balteus trying to regroup and gather everybody up. Fortin and Velese have gone missing, so we'll see what happens. Also, I want to say, as of this video, those of you who have the game on Steam Early Access and potentially Patreon already know this, the finale has dropped. So, if you want to dare, you can go on ahead. The final game will be released in September, still on schedule. Anyways, that being said, let's get this going, shall we? We've come so far. It's time to get things rolling. All right, so here we are. We are here in this place. Let's see. I don't think there's anything to interact with, so let's just go forward. Would you like to continue the journey? Yes, of course. After a few hours of waiting, I almost can't handle it anymore. It's impossible for me to rest when my friends could be in danger. Making my way to the exit, I cross my fingers, hoping that things are okay. Just as I'm about to leave, the door swung open, catching me off guard. I take a few steps back to avoid getting hit, letting out a sigh of relief afterwards. It's Auric. But that's not all. A few moments later, after he enters, Valessa and Fortaime follow. And I knew they wouldn't be done that soon. They're alive! What a huge relief this was. All the worry had taken its toll. We hug each other with big smiles on our faces. For a while there, I was scared of what might have happened. Thankfully, they're okay. I could rest easy as we move forward with everything. Sorry for taking a bit longer than you thought. We've never been here before, so we got lost. Yeah, and it was even harder because you're keeping quiet. It's hard to find people who don't want to be found, you know. I release a hug and tell them everything is fine. I was worried, but I knew that they were capable of surviving. I can't believe how cold this place is. It looks so uninviting too, scary almost. Yeah, hopefully we can change that. The Triumvirate seemed neglectful, but why? I shrug, unsure of how to answer that. We're here to kill them, not reason with them. I have a feeling this, among other questions, would remain unanswered. Dominic and Hal soon enter the shack. Followed by more of our comrades, we quickly fill the room. Gathering around the table, it's clear that it was time to plan. Alright, we need to talk about what happens next. Until now, we've been pretty vague since time was short. But there's no more delaying. This is everything we've got. We need to push through the town square before anything can happen. Balteus is fortified by a large wall, so we can't get to the library from outside. This means the bulk of the battle will take place within the city itself. However, we want to get to the Grand Library without as little resistance as possible. To that end, we'll have La Squadra go in first and cause a distraction. If they can lower the honor guard away from the town square, we can slip in. Since the honor guard can't enter the library, it's perfect for a base of operations. Let's face it, this shack is dangerous, so we should get moving as soon as possible. Once we're in the library, we can relax and prepare to launch our final assault. And what will that final assault consist of? Good question. I'm glad you asked. Here's what I've been thinking. If the floor is mine, I will reveal our plan. Hal nods, giving Dominic the floor. He steps forward. Placing a scroll on the table, he promptly unfolds it. I can see that it's a map of Balteus, the entire city. Everybody gathers around the table, putting aside any other business. If the strategy at sea was any indication, I know this operation is in good hands. They certainly seem to know what they're doing. I can feel morale rising. He starts to speak with certainty and confidence. It's impressive. They must have been planning this for a while. We all watch intently, curious to see what kind of strategy they have. This is the main area of the city. Our goal is to ensure that Razzle has a clear path to the castle. That way he can slip inside and kill the Triumvirate with minimal effort. Hal and myself will lure the honor guard to the town square. This is where the bulk of the battle will take place. Shouldn't be too hard, but the added might of our draconic allies will have no problem at all. Pearl will sneak away from the town square and infiltrate the castle. His job will be to cause a distraction, luring enemies away from the atrium. With that done, the rest should be smooth sailing for Razzle. I'll go with Pearl if that's okay with you. I know the layout of the castle, and he'll need some backup. We can't expect him to hold off an entire horde of suits at once. Very well, Grizz will accompany Pearl. The two of them will have no problem clearing the castle out. The bulk of the honor guard will be with me in the town square. Alright, that takes care of Hal, Pearl, and myself. The rest of you will accompany Razzle to the castle. Let's see here. I should have another map detailing our current area. The only way to approach the Triumvirate's castle is directly from the front. That is, unless you know a secret or two. This involves a hidden mountain pass. Using this pass, you can go around Balteus, but it'll be much easier than sneaking through the city. Joining you will be Auric, Fortin, and Velese. Dominic, if you'd let me join them, I could help out. Remember who tipped you off about this hidden trail? I can even use the Blade of Exodus if Razzle is in a bind. Alright, sure, I have no problem with that. Sophie will accompany the group headed to the castle. They'll split up when they get close. Let's see here. You should emerge from the mountain pass right beside the castle. Because of all the distractions, your path inside should be clear, but need Fortin to do something special for us first. Me? Special? Oh, what do you need me to do? I'll have you climb the castle, scaling the outside walls. Your job will be to get inside and ring the bell of retreat. If you can find it, it should make the honor guard stand down. Wait, seriously? All of them? Yes. All of them. I'm putting a lot of trust in you here. Do you think you can do this for us? Of course! Climbing is my specialty. I'll have that bell ringing in no time. Good. The rest of you will enter the castle from the front. Again, your path should be clear if all goes as planned. If not, you'll have to fight your way through. But I believe in you. Sounds good to me. Yeah, we can do this, no problem. Glad to hear it. Alrighty. That is all we've come up with. Does everybody find it acceptable? Everybody nods, knowing their part. It seemed like they had almost thought of it all. With a strategy like that, victory seems almost certain. I don't know, the last time Dominic planned a strategy and it was certain, and kind of blew up in our faces. So expect the unexpected. As long as I can defeat the Triumvirate and that idol. Even if everybody plays their part, the end is still all on me. I do my best not to let them down, but part of me is still filled with fright. Alright, let's go outside. We'll head to the Grand Library as a group. If we can get in there without trouble, the rest will be easy. The Monarch vessel should make it pretty easy for us. They'll lure the honor guard away from the town square. If they can do that, then we can slip in pretty much undetected. Hopefully they could survive the task. This operation will be divided into 2 phases then. Take the Grand Library, then take the Triumvirate's castle. Whoops. With everything planned and out in the open, we exit the shack. Hope fills the air for the first time in a while. We could do this. I smile at my comrades as we head outside one by one. The cold, uninviting air assaults me as soon as I exit the shack. It's like Eastcrown. I'm not sure how people could survive in this place. Well, not that there's many people here. It's many of those suits of armor. I can hear everybody talking, going over the roles they were assigned. If everybody did what they were supposed to, then we'd win this for sure. Of course, as long as I could destroy the Triumvirate and that idol. Sneaking into the castle and lure everybody away from the main atrium seems pretty easy to me. Razzle will have no resistance at all. And if I can ring that bell, then everybody will be safe. All those years of climbing has finally paid off. This is gonna be great. Plus you got those claws too, my boy. My boy. Did any of you remember my boy? Zelda CD. I was talking to somebody in Discord last night about that, and they had no idea what it was. Ancient YouTube memes. Auric is quick to interject, putting aside any arrogant thrust before it can blossom. Look, none of that is going to happen if we can't take the Grand Library. We need to establish a foothold, a safe place to retreat if things go south. They all nodded. It's not the discussion they were having. It's true, though. Without Haven, we'd be out in the open completely unsafe. At least, the first phase of our plan wasn't too complicated. I'd know we'd seize the library. I noticed that one of our comrades is carrying Alex. That's good. The library would be the best place for him to get rest. He's fast asleep, which is pretty surprising. He's gotta be a heavy sleeper. The city should only be a couple of hours away. We trust that you can all handle the cold. We don't really have much of a choice, Hal. Let's get going. I think our goal is pretty clear. Upon hearing that, we all start walking towards the city. I can see the impressive wall that surrounds everything. It's beautiful. However, I can't see anything past it. I have no idea what Balteus looks like. We walk through thick layers of snow, and my legs start to tire out, but I'm not in a position where I have any choice. Pushing forward is mandatory. After what feels like a small eternity, we finally arrive at the gates leading into Balteus. Oh geez, that looks familiar. The town gates and the wall are an amazing sight. Intricate details are carved into the stone. It's a work of art. Something told me the monarchy made this, not the triumvirate. This looks amazing. This must be a remnant of the monarchy, right? The triumvirate can't be this artistic, I know it. Correct. This looks just as I remember it. However, Balteus wasn't always this cold. Something bad has happened to the nation. Ah, I see, like what? We're not sure. However, it is probably due to the triumvirate. It pains us to see how much they've defiled our former home. We used to live in Balteus. It has housed the throne, and our ruler. To see it reduced to a frozen wasteland is almost too much to bear. Let us head inside. We need to see what else has changed over the years. It reminds me of what we thought would happen to Valenorth. Without the spirit idol, it would wither away and freeze over like Eastcrown. We have since learned that was false, but what's happened to Balteus then? As we all start to make our way inside the city, Dominic stops us. He looks a bit worried, and I can tell that he's lost in deep thought. Monarch vessels, where are you? A few moments later, a group of our monarch vessels step forward. We don't have much time to waste. As soon as we get inside, you need to get to work. Lure the honor guard away from our path. Understood? Yes, of course. Your path to the library will be clear. As soon as the fighting dies down, we'll come and join you. It should be easy, so don't expect us to be too far behind. Yes, of course. Thank you very much. Let's see if there's anything else to cover. He turns back to face the rest of the group. Gulping, it's clear that he's fraught with anxiety. Look, we're about to do something that's never been done before. We're seizing territory from the triumvirate right under their noses. Much like they did to Mazeo. We're about to occupy Balteus. But that does not mean we are like them. We do what we do in order to gain our freedom. They occupied Mazeo, wanting to oppress us even further. We all exchange glances and nod at one another. I want you all to remember that as we press forward. War can blur the lines between good and evil. But I know where you stand. If you know that too, then there's nothing that can stop you. You are heroes. With nothing left to say, we slowly make our way into the city. I can tell that due to Dominic's encouraging words, everyone is happy. However, as we enter, nothing prepares us for the sight that awaits us. Looks like this place has seen, some better days. Wow. Hal immediately steps forward, taking in the sight before him. Balteus looks almost uninhabitable. It's in a state of decay and death. I know the honor guard doesn't need a paradise, but this is ridiculous. What have they done? It's clear that Hal is hurt. He used to be the monarchy's home, after all. Hopefully, there will be a way to reverse all of this. It isn't right. This is... well, I certainly didn't expect this. I'm guessing it didn't look like this in your time. No, Balteus was a paradise. This is unacceptable, Dominic. We must find a way to fix this. Of course. There's a way I'll let this stand. It's a bit of shock, but our plan remains unchanged. Secure the library, kill the triumvirate. After he's done talking, we see a horde of honor guard suits walk by. We quickly run off to the side and hide beneath a nearby building. I've never seen anything like this. The building is pitch black. Pieces of it crumble off, almost like it's been burned or charred. But it hasn't. I know a building can't die, but there's no other way to put it. Like its source of life has been cut off. It appears to be living on borrowed time. What's going on here? This is disgusting, look. He looks down and we all look at his feet. We're no longer standing in snow, but ash and soot. I start to wonder if it was ever really snowing at all. This is Celestia's fate if we leave it in their hands. They don't care about the land, they only care about themselves. This is proof enough that we're on the right side of history. Hal turns to me and places a hand on my shoulder. We suspect that this may be related to their dark idol. Monarch, above all else, please prioritize its destruction. I nod as previous visions start to repeat themselves in my mind. I was facing that idol with the blade. Everything is coming to pass. After a short talk, our attention is directed back towards the honor guard. Monarch vessels, come here. This is our best chance to take action. If that group is gone, our path is clear. Boop the snoot with the blade. I mean, I know it's very inappropriate, but I was just like, hey, boop the snoot. Upon hearing this, they quickly group up in front of Dominic. Our goal of seizing the Grand Library seems pretty attainable. Oh, hey, Rhaegar got artwork finally. How do they miss them? Yes, sir. It should be easy enough to take them down. After they're dealt with, we'll meet you all in the library. Good. Go around the building and attack from the other side. They'll be focusing on you, so we'll head in the opposite direction. Perfect. Aw, rip Huskers. Press F to pay respects to Huskers' unfinished artwork. If we don't make it, it's been an honor. After exchanging a nod, both groups part ways. The Monarch vessels prepare to distract the honor guard. Dominic points to a nearby road, signaling where we should run. The Grand Library is right over there. We'll run on my mark. So, just hold on. After speaking, he immediately places a finger against his mouth. It's clear that we need to remain silent while the vessels carry out their goal. We wait here, in an intense silence, waiting to hear a clashing of swords. We all stare at each other in unease. We know that when they start the fight, some of them may die. It pains me that sacrifice was necessary in order to attain our goal. But I know that their sacrifice would never be forgotten. My heart sinks as soon as I hear them start the fight. Excuse me, ooh. I hear screaming. And steel against steel. My instinct tells me to run immediately, but Dominic has yet to move. I can see him once every time the skirmish gets a little louder. But soon enough, he makes a call and we're all running. Now, go! In our haste, we still make sure to be as silent as possible. The Grand Library isn't too far away. In fact, I can see it now. It stands tall, and it seems to be the one building that's not falling apart. As soon as we arrive there, we all let out a big sigh of relief. We can still hear the fighting, but it's more distant than before. Through the screams, it's impossible to tell which side is winning. Whoa, that's going... Today I can't read. Whoa, what's going on back there? I don't know. Let's just hope it's going well. Doesn't sound that way. For the honor guard, maybe? Oh yeah, we need to get inside. Shouldn't we wait for the Monarch vessels? At this rate, it might not be much longer. No, they can meet us inside. We can't risk running into more suits. There's just one group, but I'm sure there's more. Right. They start to ascend the stairs, but Hal stops them. Wait, the library seems fine. Why is it not in decay like the rest? Everybody turns to face him, but nobody knows. Dominic takes the stairs back down and faces Howell. I don't know, but I think this is a good sign. It means we can control a limit of what's happening. Knowing this, we might be able to fix Balteus. Or perhaps it's a bad sign, Dominic. Maybe our enemy has the power to harm Velese itself. How do you think we can stand up against such a foe? Everybody exchanges worried glances. But then, their eyes find their way to the blade on my back. It's apparent that conventional means wouldn't be enough to win. Nobody knows how to answer Howell, and an awkward silence follows. But then we realize that it is indeed a silence. This is concerning. The earlier fight is over, but did the Monarch vessels prevail? Hey, let's get inside, alright? Maybe the librarian knows more about this. We shouldn't stand around in the open out here. Having successfully changed the subject, we start heading inside. Hal made a good point, but none of us were able to counter it. I doubt the librarian would want to talk to invaders like us. It makes me worry about how we might get them to talk. There's so much uncertainty and worry in the air right now. As we enter the library, I hope our forces lived through the fight. When we enter the library, I'm taken aback by what we see. It thus fills the air, and it seems like this place has seen better days. The only sight that somebody's been here is that books remain clean. Whoever has been taking care of this place only cares about the literature. I guess that's acceptable, since it would be the main job of a librarian. It just seems odd. All the time in the world, and it's still quite dirty. There's some kind of weird apparatus in the back of the library. I've never seen anything like it before. It's almost awe-inspiring. My comrades all look around, sharing the same look of awe. This is amazing! Never seen so many books in one place before. And what they're all about. Should we take a look? Maybe not. We're here for a reason, remember? Let's find the owner and see what they can tell us. Hal steps forward, objecting before anyone else can speak. Actually, there's a chance the books could tell us even more. The Triumvirate must keep them away from the mainland for a reason. What do you mean? The monarchy vanished in a blink of an eye. This we know for sure. People can be erased, but not culture. Signs of our time here would have remained. So you're saying... Before we can continue, we hear a noise come from down the hall. We know that honor guard can't enter, so it must be the proprietor. Knowing that, we need to take them hostage. We assume hostile stances. What? Oh, I forgot to put frames on their faces. Yeah, see, they have frames. I'll have to do that. I'll wait till the art game is actually finished before I do that. Anyways, Looking into the past is one of the best ways to learn. If we don't become better people, then we'll repeat the same mistakes. How fitting, then, that the old monarchy would only focus on the future. We all exchange glasses, slightly confused. They wanted to guide themselves to the perfect future. If it was possible to get there, then no cost would be too high. In the name of a better world, they embraced corruption. After a few steps forward, the mysterious man comes into view. Too often do we condemn others in our self-serving journeys. A bright future for the monarchy would have meant death for other innocent worlds. The triumvirate chose to step in, as they've done countless times before, to maintain balance. Dominic interjects, with a look on his face that I can only describe as the onset of anger. We know what the triumvirate did to the monarchy, how it told us. But like you said, mistakes are how we learn and grow. It's how we become better. If the option of failure is taken away from us, we can no longer call ourselves people. They can hide behind whatever the reasons they want, but they're wrong to control us. The ability to make these mistakes is our right, and I will not stand by while it's taken away. Corruption, death, no one wants these, but without them we might as well not exist at all. Everybody nods and cheers Dominic on. The mystery man shrugs and keeps walking forward. Restrain this man. I expect to see the man put up a fight, but he doesn't. You will experience no resistance from me. On the other hand, you'll find no help either. Do what you must, but keep the library intact. He gets on his knees and holds out his wrists. Hal makes quick work of restraining him. Who are you? You know more than most. The man shakes his head. Just a holder of knowledge. A man who preserves the past rather than erasing it. In exchange, the triumvirate gives me life and shelter. Another one of their victims, you mean? Eternal life in exchange for servitude. Despicable. What atrocities did you commit in their name? I created this library. A glimpse into the past. Everything the monarchy ever wrote. On these shelves. That was my job. Preserve the old history while creating a new one. And what new history did you create? I wrote about the triumvirate and spread it everywhere. I made them seem like gods, like they were the creators of this world. As new life began on Alessia, they found my writing and believed every word. Hal scoffs as anger boils in him, but before he can do anything, Pro interrupts. August Velier. The man's perk up. The man's ears perk up in a way that reveals he was reacting to his name. That is the moniker I assumed, yes. I'm happy to know the name is still remembered. August Velier. The man revered as the greatest historian. I can't believe that he too was a troll of the triumvirate. So everything that people believe is a lie that you created? Why'd you need to go to such extremes? That's insane. Look at how you and your friends reacted to learning the truth. They brought you here, prepared to kill those who gave you life. The people must never know the true cost of the creation. I don't believe this. Hal, get him out of our sight. Hal drags August away as the rest of us group together. Well, at least he didn't put up much of a fight. I'd like to say that I'm shocked, but I don't feel surprised at all. This journey has been full of revelations. This is just another for the pile. Ain't that the truth? It doesn't really change much at all. We still have a plan. But it'd be stupid to attack in the middle of the night. Let us rest until the break of dawn and meet... Excuse me. Ooh, in front of the library. Remember that we're safe as long as we're here. Hopefully the rest of our forces aren't too behind. We will dismissed. See you in the morning, okay? Where are we supposed to rest? I'm sure there's private quarters around here somewhere. And if you can't sleep, at least there's lots of books to read. And after the war, we should give this knowledge back to the people. Yeah, I agree. The triumvirate can't hide this stuff forever. We finally have proof that nobody can deny. This is amazing. If we show them this, they'll accept our rule without question. Dominic smiles, his spirit seemingly lifted. Yeah, let's hope you're right. Have a good night. All of you. With that, we're all left on our own. People scatter about reading books and exploring the library. I decide to look for a private room so I can relax and gather my bearings. Halen returns to the chambers of the triumvirate. Noticing the absence of Shane, they're a bit confused. They don't assume the worst and ask Halen to brief them. Shane stayed behind to lead the naval attack. He plans to trim their forces as much as possible. Like you anticipated, they're arriving by sea. Good. Then things are going according to plan. We'll have you wait in the atrium for their arrival. This means that you'll be our last line of defense. I consider it an honor, but I have to say, I'm worried for Shane. His chances of survival are pretty slim out there. He knew what he was signing up for. If he killed even one of the rebels, then he was successful. Focus on protecting the castle, Halen. That's more important. Yes, of course. I'll make sure no one passes the atrium. If they try, they'll fall as quickly as they enter. Thank you, Halen. It's important that they have a false sense of security. Don't give them much resistance until it's absolutely necessary. If they think they're going to win, they're more prone to slipping up. It's up to you to figure out when that moment is and take advantage of it. Even if it takes your life, you're to prevent them from entering our chambers. Halen kneels, complying without hesitation. Yes, of course. My life for the triumvirate. I'll fortify straight away and wait for their arrival. Halen strides out of the chambers with a sense of purpose. As he leaves, they turn to each other, displaying soft smiles. Hopefully this time, things will be different. Different, eh? They have been hinting that something is up with this cycle. So we'll see. After finding a private room, I pace around it in circles. Speaking of cycles, I've had nothing but bad luck when I came to getting rest. Ever since we left Museo, I've been too worried to fall asleep. I try reading books, but none of them are able to capture my interest. Pacing the room, I basically succumb to the anxiety assaulting my mind. However, and thankfully, a knock at my door soon returns me to lucidity. And as soon as I open it, Dominic enters. He takes a deep breath, sounding both annoyed and relieved. I don't blame him, he's gone through so much in such a short time. We finally put the librarian to rest. He sure likes to talk a lot about nothing at all. Lots of answers in the form of riddles. Boring stuff. It's pretty interesting that he didn't resist, though. He said he won't help us, but he won't stop us either. His true allegiance is to history, that's what he keeps saying. Doesn't make much sense since he faked so much history in the past, but no matter what happens next, he'll have a lot to write about. If we win, he'll record it. If we lose, he'll record that too. I guess the stance makes more sense if you look at it that way. No matter what happens next, somebody would need to write about it. His main condition was that we don't harm the library. Pretty good terms, especially in exchange for a foothold. We may not have won yet, but we've seized Baltean soil. That's true, nobody else has gotten this far. I can tell that we stand a chance of winning in it, and it feels amazing. But I have to ask, how do we know that this Algus can be trusted? We don't. But he can't do much if he's locked up. Any chance he had at intervening is long gone by now. He can try when we leave, but we'll be prepared to fight by then. I nod, thanking Dominic for an update on what's going on. Of course, I just wanted to make sure you were alright. It must be hard to sleep right now, given all the weight on your shoulders. The others aren't sleeping either. Maybe you should spend some time with them. He's right. If I can't sleep, then that's probably the next best idea. But I wonder if our bonds are strong enough to warrant some time together. This could be a last night together after all. They might be more protective of their time. I guess there was no harm in checking. I steam out of my room with a new goal in mind. Turning back to face the vast emptiness of this private room, I wonder who I could invite over. This would be a good night to make some final memories. Some final memories, just in case the worst came to pass. You can spend final one-on-one time with every loyal comrade. Click the arrow in the top right corner when you're ready to proceed with the story. Note that doing so will begin the final battle and lead to the ending of the game. Look at all the little hearts. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get through this, and then a little bit more of a shorter episode this time around, but depending on how long these scenes are, but all the more for the exciting finale. Alright, let's start with you, Mr. Deep Voice. There's a knock at my door, more urgent sounding than I anticipated. It couldn't possibly be time to launch the attack. It must be something else. As soon as I open it, Sylvie steps into the room, a look of anxiety on his face. Sorry, I just need to get away from that atrium, Razzle. Everybody keeps telling me what to do, and it's getting on my nerves. I have no problem helping out your cause, but it's my choice to do so. I followed enough orders while I was under the Triumvirate's control. Joining your army, I thought I'd finally be a free man. I guess I am. Ignore me. I'm just complaining. He shrugs and starts wandering around the room. I tell him that it's okay. He shouldn't have to follow orders here. I give him free rein to do whatever he sees as the most useful. You know, that's why I like you. You're the only person who lets me do what I want. Everybody else keeps me at arm's length, commanding me. After all I've been through, I think that I want to be the commander. I've always thought I've been meant for more than what I was given. When I met you, you accepted my offer. I knew I was right. At first, I only planned to help you until we took down Halen. But we've grown so close, and your comments are so accepting, even though they boss me around like I'm a little slave. I've never felt such a sense of belonging, a sense perhaps of family. With a smile, he takes a book from the shelf and opens it up. You know, I've been reading about the monarchy. They seem to be more similar to the Triumvirate than we thought. The Triumvirate demands perfection. The monarchy sought the perfect future. And it seems like neither group cared about what cost they paid. But it's impossible to pinpoint the monarchy at the moment the monarchy was imprisoned. Many of the books are dated with a system I'm unable to decipher. So how advanced was the monarchy when the Triumvirate took action? Were they sensing a real threat or a potential threat? One is more acceptable than the other, but neither are just. I find myself wondering what would happen if someone opposed the monarchy. What if somebody got in the way of them in their perfect future? Would they be killed just like enemies of the triumvirate? And furthermore, how did they possess foresight to begin with? You inherited it from them, but where did they get it from? Sorry for rambling, there's just so many questions. It might be best to just forget the monarchy ever existed, start over from scratch under the banner of the rebellion. Why reclaim a world for someone who would be your enemy? The triumvirate controls us in an attempt to keep everything pure. The monarchy too controlled their subjects, just for a different reason. We want to live free, right? Free to do what we want and how we want. I nod. Why settle for the lesser of two evils? Forget the triumvirate, forget the monarchy, carve your own path, follow none and tread by others. I shake my head out, unsure of how to react. This world didn't belong to the triumvirate, but not to us either. We are simply their creation, given free will by the monarchy. This seems to have been a conquest meant to reclaim the world. We may not be alive to see it happen, but we should rule like they did. I have the blade too, and I was from Valinor. I always looked forward to the future. All those things considered, I was uniquely qualified to rule in their stead. I couldn't just use everything they gave me and then throw away their ideals. You don't understand. He throws the book aside and pins me back against it. Whoa, holy. I stand strong, meeting his gaze, almost as if issuing a direct challenge. His grip is strong, and I can tell he's really passionate about this subject. If you let them control your actions, then you'll never truly be free. No matter who you align with, you inherit their ideas that harm like poison. You need to look to the past, not the future. Avoid the mistakes they made. That's what I did, and look where it brought me. Standing before you, able to think of little else. I didn't want to see you fall. You're better. Better than the triumvirate. Better than the monarchy. You're the only person that's ever treated me like I mattered. I'm not a slave to you. I'm not just a means to an end. He still has me pinned against the wall, and I feel him tremble. A few moments later, he lets go of me, but I pull him back in. He looks away from me, and I can feel his breath against my neck. Oh. Oh no, I think I'm dating the dragon. Oh, the writing utensils. Oh. Oops. I kept telling myself you weren't giving me any special treatment. I wanted to believe that you'd extend the same courtesies to anybody. Well, if they're a cute little bunny boy, sure. But then you got those writing utensils, and I became confused. I can feel an edge roll up within him as he speaks. Without warning, he punches the wall beside me with a loud grunt. However, one of his hands still rests gently at my side. He's conflicted. I hate that I can't stop thinking about you. I hate that I care more about your future than I own. And I hate Peter Pan. Bonus points if you catch that reference. He strikes the wall once more, and then looks me dead in the eyes. His second hand returns to my side, and he pins me against the wall again. I hate you. And a moment later, our lips press together. I rest my hands on his sides, and then quickly turn the tables. Spinning both of us around, I press him against the wall as we continue the kiss. As we take it further, Sylvie emits noises that enforces confusion and anger. We move to different surfaces, the table, the bed, as we continue. It felt as natural as it did abrupt, and this is how we spent the rest of our time together. Whew! Oh man! Oh, hold on, I gotta take a drink of water. That was spicy. Alright, I was not expecting that. Okay. Let's see what these other guys got, the other jokers got lined up for us. As I'm browsing random books, I hear a knock at my door. I quickly wipe off Sylvie's lipstick. It's Howl. I let him in and ask how things are going. I don't know why I asked. It's clear what they thought the answer was. They all worry. They all feel that death will come to them. An understandable fear, however. This is the end of a journey. We will face more danger than ever before as we move forward. August, however, isn't making things any easier. He plants seeds of doubt in many of our soldiers' razzle. Words are a writer's greatest weapon. A gag would be effective. It's unclear if this is a joke, but it gets a smile from me regardless. He says we are the true enemy, the monarchy. It says that if you knew the truth of our people, you would run. That you would no longer fight for us, as we endangered innocent worlds. It's not true, however. His mind has been twisted beyond repair. But many soldiers are starting to doubt. What if he is telling the truth? Could they save their lives by switching sides in the final moments? That's unacceptable. We can't afford any turncoats. There's been enough in this war already. The monarchy made mistakes, as any group of people do. Like Dominic said, mistakes are how we learn and grow. Bad choices, while bad, are right as people to make. They cast us aside in a prison, taking away our ability to choose, and in doing so, they took away our ability to live in freedom. No matter our crimes, the punishment is too severe. I agree, and I could never be turned against the monarchy. The triumvirate imprisoned them because they endangered worlds? A hypocritical thing to say. As I heard Alessia at the very same time. But we must say, it was a battle that we lost fair and square. We were so focused on our future we lost sight of everyone else's. It doesn't surprise us that our perfect future came at the expense of others. If it leads to happiness in the end, how can you decide what cost is too high? This is the line that all tyrants seem to walk in the early days of the rule. Many have fallen to the wrong side, Russell. We trust that you will not. I nod. I don't see myself stooping to the level of the enemy anytime soon. We know that Dominic wishes to give all knowledge to people. These books capture almost the entire history of the monarchy. This may not be a good idea. They may read our mistakes, and those mistakes may just inspire future insurrections. We think it may be best to destroy the monarchy entirely, burn these books, and remove the spirits from this body. Wait, what? Now it's certainly extreme. These books shouldn't exist at all, Razzle. We don't know why the Triumvirate keeps them lying around. If our oppression was their goal, then they should have destroyed them. Right now they exist as a testament to our imprisonment. As long as they remain intact, they will only be a harmful memory. They should be destroyed. Allow my people and our history to rest. This is all coming out of nowhere, but it makes sense. He is the monarchy embodied. It's supposed to be a horrific sight for him. His entire culture is stolen, imprisoned just like him and his people. This is what we ask you look forward the future. This is why we ask that you look forward to the future, Razzle. Do not concern yourself with who we were or what we were like. Order this library to be destroyed. Live life on your own terms. I don't know what to say, so I just stare at him in silence. This started back during our journey in the Ace Crown. The body cannot survive the cold, the spirits inside help, but in doing so they died. We are weaker than we were back then. Weaker, but more in tune with everything around us, almost like a weight was lifted from our shoulders. We would like you to lift this weight even further. Please, use that blade, absorb the souls inside of us, leave one behind, and let us feel what it's like to be alive. After the weight is gone from our shoulders, lift it from the world. He looks around the room to the various books scattered about. We must absorb these souls and destroy the books. Only then will the monarchy truly be removed from history. As our mind will be better for it, so too will the world itself. I don't know how to respond to what he's asking of me. He wants me to commit mass genocide against the monarchy? This is all happening so fast, and I'm unsure of how I should respond. He would not be killing us. We have long since been dead. It would be an act of mercy upon a group of oppressed people. We can no longer live. The Triumvirate stole that right from us. But if you can take our spirits and use it the power of the blade, maybe it will give you the edge you need to win yourselves. You may have lost, but that doesn't mean you need to as well. These spirits may linger, and the books may remain, but the truth of it is, we're dead. We need to be buried. Our very existence is born from a denial of that death. If we leave one soul, it leaves this body to fight for you. We may fall in combat, but nothing of value would be lost. We cannot help our own people, so we must help yours. We must accept defeat, have the souls removed and books destroyed. If I did that, there would be no physical remains of the monarchy. I had spirits inside of me, but I was still my own person, able to live free. We're talking about the extinction of an entire group of people. I don't know. We understand if this is too much to ask, Razzle, but we think this is the right course of action for everybody. Don't be scared to hurt us. You can't harm one that's already dead. The spirits would be more useful in the blade than this body. But like we said, one can remain to aid you in fighting. What do you say? You're too valuable. Honestly, you're gonna need all the firepower you can get. So, I couldn't do it. I couldn't be responsible for there's that too, you know. Getting rid of an entire people. I think they deserve to live to see the Triumvirate fall in the New World. Whew. Gotta keep that caffeine up. Even if they're already dead, I couldn't be the one to end it. I let him know that fact, and I can tell he's immediately upset. Very well, Razzle. It's a mistake, but it's a mistake, your mistake to live. After all, you still live, free to make your choices. With a stern look on his face, he storms out of the room. I can tell that I let him down, but I think I made the right choice. As I turn back to face the room, I keep telling myself that fact. Well, you can just go fume in your own little corner of the bookstore, then. I invite Dominic over to my private room, and he looks around astonished. And it's almost like he's never seen anything so fancy before. Or maybe he didn't expect such beauty out of Balteus. What a sight, Razzle. I assume this is where August went home in his sleep. He's not going anywhere in his current state. I talked to him for a while, and he seems unstable. Years of serving the Triumvirate will do that to you, I guess. Even after I told him what Hal was, he lives in ignorance. Well, maybe ignorance isn't the right word. He knows what the Triumvirate is, and he chose to serve them. You know, I wonder how the people react when they find out. August knows, and chose not to rebel or fight back. Maybe a victory here would be just the start of another battle. Not literally, of course. We'll fight to show everyone the truth. He shifts, almost like he's feeling a bit uncomfortable. I have to ask you something, though. If the people don't respect your rule, what will you do? Will you work hard to earn it, or will you demand it through fear? Earn it through fear now. I'd work hard and earn it the right way. Good, that's what I like to hear. We can't resort to methods used by our enemy. If we did that, nothing would change in the end. Just don't go down in history as a pushover. Even the best ruler needs to put his foot down, you know? Trying to give everybody what they want will just drive you mad. He shrugs, realizing it's probably a good idea to change the subject. We need to secure victory before deciding what we do with it. It's clear that he wants to avoid talking about the upcoming battle. It just makes me wonder who the Triumvirate really is. They aren't gods, and I doubt they made the Blade of Exodus. There's a chance they're just like us, using power to achieve their goals. And they say that power corrupts. You've heard that before, right? If they were just like us in the past, what'll happen next? Will we go on to become tyrants that people despise? I shake my head. We wouldn't stoop so low. Nobody starts the journey at the peak power, Razzle. The Triumvirate wasn't born into this role, they fought for it. It's even likely they took down foes of their own, too. But what foe would that be? And what was their goal? What I'm trying to say is I think the blade should be destroyed. Once we achieve our goal, we'll have no use for it anymore, right? If you keep it, you risk relying on its power. And I don't want to see what that does to you, Razzle. Not if it's anything close to what it's done to our enemies. I don't see any reason to keep it around after the war is over. So tell me, if you get a chance to destroy it, will you? It's too dangerous to keep alive. Good. There's no place for a weapon like that in this world. I feel like whoever leads it will be led down a dark path. I'd just hate to see that happen to you, I really would. He looks away from me sad. I just want to know what kind of hands the world will be left in. I'm not asking you any of these questions because I'm scared, you know. I might not survive the battle, I might not live to see your reign. That much was true. Even my survival isn't guaranteed. I'd hate for us to die, especially after how far we've come. But we're about to fight the Triumvirate. It's a real possibility. All we can really do is ensure that we fight with no regrets. And I have my fair share of regrets, that much is certain, but with your help, I'd like to put some of them to rest. I've been wanting for a while, but I'm scared. Scared? I think I know what he's getting at. Shaking a hand is such a simple thing, yet I cower in fear when everybody offers it to me. Even the thought of it is enough to fill me with anxiety. But you know what? So does fighting the Triumvirate. Despite that fact, I'm standing strong and ready to fight. So what do you say? To follow the Triumvirate? He holds out his hand, and I can see it shaking. I ask him if he's sure. This is a big deal after all. Of course, I'm sure. It's time to get over this silly fear. You know, we'll be dealing with all our people after this is over. Not being able to shake the hands of our subjects? That's not good. After all we've been through, I think you deserve the honors. And I can think of no better toast than a toast to the fall of our enemies. So like I said, let's do this and move forward as stronger people. Yeah, stronger people. I shake his hand with a firm grip. If he was scared, he doesn't show it. This is all thanks to you, Monarch. It really is. You told me to leave behind those memories of my past. I first thought I thought it would dishonor the memory of my mother. But I'm not forgetting about her. I can never do that. I'm just forgetting about what the pain I felt on that fateful day. With that gone, I can handle anything that comes my way. He leaves the room with the biggest smile on his face. I know that this was a big step for him, and he's incredibly proud. If he used that pride in the battlefield, then our enemies stood no chance. Just like you said, the Triumvirate would fall, and we'd be victorious. Okay then, well, let's see, who else is next on our little list here? Auric. As I'm lost in thought, a knock at the door jolts me awake. Without hesitation, I open it up, and Auric steps inside. He seemed calm. He's seen tons of battle in his lifetime. Hey, Razzle, I just wanted to come see you. Won't be getting much sleep tonight after all. It's true, and I don't blame anybody for it. Especially Auric, we're fighting his former masters. This would be harder on him than it would be for us. I can't stop thinking about our visit to Alarenthia. You know, I broke your nose and I feel awful about that, but I can't let you get in the way and compromise our plan. It needed to come down just to prove myself. It was the only way that we could guarantee our victory. I guess I came here seeking your forgiveness. I feel foolish, though. Your forgiveness was implied when you removed that curse from me. I mean, you wouldn't do something like that if you resented me, right? But still, having it implied, it's not the same as hearing you say it. Can't tell what he's after, so I tell him he's forgiven. To be honest, it's the last thing on my mind right now. That's the thing, though. Forgiveness shouldn't come so easy. When you're on the throne, you need to learn how to punish. I lied to you. I hurt you. I shouldn't deserve your forgiveness. Why do you come here asking for it? I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're lucky it was just your nose. In that moment, I would have done whatever I deemed necessary, Razzle. And given the opportunity, I'd do it again. I'd go as far as I need it. You still think I'm worthy of your forgiveness? Who knows what I might have to do during the final battle. The fate of the world is in the balance. I can't hold back. What's gotten into him all of a sudden? He's acting odd, but I try not to bring it to his attention. For all I know, he's just anxious about the upcoming battle. But still, I tell him he's forgiven. I can't hold him accountable for things he hasn't done. What he has done, however, he's more than made up for. Alright, as long as we're both on the same page. I expect the same from you. Don't hold back in any way. If I'm in danger, don't stop to help me. You have your goal. You want me to just leave him for dead? I know what I was getting into when you removed my curse. I'm vulnerable for the first time in thousands of years. But while I'm vulnerable, I also feel alive, Russell. It's amazing how much possibility of death can motivate us. In some ways, that's what drives us to accomplish our goals. Without some sort of end, there's no time for us to seize. Thank you, Razzle. I knew you'd be strong enough to make the tough decisions. Since we met, I've seen nothing but a capable ruler in you. And that was before our attack on the Rebel HQ. We're back in Valnorth when we were at Peregrino. You've been leading this world much longer than you think. And I have to say, I agree with your choices. Turning Peregrino into a barracks to protect your homeland, anyone who cares about their people, that much is a great leader. When I look back on times like that, I realize how far we've come. Complete strangers to loyal comrades, ready to kill false gods. Though I've never expected this, but it's not an unwelcome change. I always pledged myself to Dominic, but the tables have shifted. The sword arm meant for him now belongs to you, Razzle. I'll protect you and do my best to liberate the world. It's the least I can do after all. You removed the curse from me. Now that I can die, it's almost as if I know what it's like to be alive. To live without feeling alive? I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Yet the triumvirate hands it out so freely. They disguise the tightest shackles as the path to freedom. And in our blindness, we accept it without hesitation. The rebellion, however, strives for true freedom. Salus and Dominic, we have them to thank for everything. Even you wouldn't have realized your full potential without them. It feels weird saying this, but you might be my first real friend. Those are hard to come by when you're serving the triumvirate, and harder still to come by when you close yourself off to the world. I'm not used to friends. I'm used to people who take advantage of me. Whether it's my strength or a sense of honor, they've all been used. When people learn who you are, they might try and use you too, Razzle. But when it comes to you, I know that my strength and honor aren't misguided. You can trust me to have your back in the final battle and beyond, I promise. For once I found a cause I'd be both happy to live and die for. Let's continue this after the battle, alright? Unfinished business is just one more reason to survive. In times like these, we need as many of those as we can get. I do have left 1, 2, 3. Ooh, okay. Let's hit the next one. I invite Pearl over to my room to spend some time together. So I guess this is it, eh? You know, I always thought that I'd be ready. But now that we're here, I feel such apprehension. I know the layout of their castle based on past reconnaissance. When we saw the Blade of Exodus, they weren't expecting us. They know we're here now. For us, it would be purely an uphill battle. He's right. We can no longer use the element of surprise. Look at me freaking out. I don't mean to bring down your moral. Let's change the subject, alright? Is there any wine in this place? He looks around the room and is quickly let down. Of course there isn't. You know, I thought it'd be a given. August is all alone with nothing but his books and imagination. If there's any type of person who'd live off wine, it'd be him. It's a lonely life, being a writer. It really is. You pour so much emotion into it that you almost run out. Everyone thinks you're giving them the cold shoulder, but you're not. Writing is an art. Nobody questions the secluded painter, you know. The second you close yourself off to write, you're troubled. So many people see it as a joke of a career choice. My friend Nico would very much agree with you on that. I almost let that get me down when I was younger. They told me that a writer could never make a decent living. I could have easily given up, but instead I created a legacy. Let's out a loud sigh. And that's what scares me. Even when I give up the swindling life, that won't be enough. Everyone will remember me for who I was, not who I am. Let's be honest, I'm not one of the good guys. I stole secrets, I sold them, and ruined people's lives. Look what I did to the rebellion, that's unforgivable. I think I might die during the attack, Razzle. There's no place for me in a new peaceful world. Even if I change, the harm I did will always haunt me. He turns away and I see him tremble a little in fright. I want to help you make this world a better place, Razzle, but you don't understand how many people I've wronged in the past. If they seek revenge, they might just target you and all my friends. I don't want anybody to get hurt because I was a bad person. I could turn a new leaf, sure, but that doesn't mean my enemies will. If I stay by your side, you and all your friends will always be targets. I put a hand on the shoulder and help him turn around. So what if its enemies tries to give us hell? We can handle it. If the rulers of the world can't take us down, how could anyone else? You're right. We're all one big family in this together until the end. I just fear that the end is closer than we think. I don't know what I'd do if I lost any of you during the final battle. I lost my family enough. I lost my family once, how can I expect to handle that again? I guess that's true. Sorry, I was just freaking out. It seems to be a running theme out there in the atrium. It's impossible to look death in the face and have no regrets, but if you want me to help you rule after this war, I will. Anything you need, I'll always be there to serve you, Razzle. Hopefully I can earn a pardon for all the loss I've broken in the past. That'd be easy. He's already done a lot to help us. He was responsible for our Olivinthian alliance, hands down. He's done his best to atone, and in my opinion, he succeeded. So I pardon him right here and now. Razzle? He looks shocked, almost in disbelief, but rather than question it, he nods, smiling. Thank you. I send him off, not before telling him one important fact. Any enemy of him is an enemy of the monarchy and will be dealt with. Homeboy! Fortin is there. He looks a bit upset, so I invite him inside. What is he upset about? I'm going to be honest, Razzle, I'm scared, terrified. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, climbing the Traverse Castle? That's insane. Not to mention, the entire battle hinges on my success. I have those metallic claws, but I don't know how much that'll help. The castle is probably made of stone like the library is. He starts prancing around the room with extreme worry. What if I fall? What if I get shot by an arrow? If anything gets in the way, I might not be able to do this. I require extreme focus, you know, this is too much. I can imagine climbing during a battle is hard. Normally, the only danger you have to worry about is falling off. But during this, he'd be a huge target for any archers nearby. Sorry to come here in panic like this. It could end up being our last night together after all. Probably way better ways to spend it than this. Okay, Fortin, you got this. You're gonna climb the tower and ring the bell of retreat. You'll help win the battle and return Valinor as a hero. Trust me, I never forgot that you appointed me as the Elder. I'll do my best to lead Valinor in the right direction, I promise. But if I don't make it, you have to find someone else to lead. I know you're gonna tell me not to worry. I know you're gonna say that everything will be fine. That's not true. You'll need to be realistic here. There's a chance that we could lose this war tomorrow. There's a chance that all of us could die. A really big chance. We're not immortal. We need to face the facts, not live in denial. They're all out there in the atrium with so much confidence. But I know that deep down inside, they're scared too. We all have something we're afraid of, you know? Oh, he steps forward and wraps his arms around me. I can feel him tremble. I return the hug with a tight squeeze. You know, it's not death that scares me, Razzle. It's the thought of never seeing you again that pains my heart. I don't want to lose you. I've never been so scared in my life. I'll tell him that I'm not planning on going anywhere. After the war, we can settle down together and be happy. You can't be certain of that, though. Just like I can't be certain that I'll survive. All I can do is try and hope for the best. So promise me one thing. No heroics, okay? No grand acts of sacrifice. No trading your life. The world needs you after the war. I need you. He starts shaking less when we break the hug. But I agree and tell him I'll try my best to comply. The thought of a world without you is almost too much to bear. I love you. I will always love you. I just hope we get a happy ending. After all we've been through, I think we deserve it, don't you? I nod and tell him that I love him too. A smile appears on his face and he immediately calms down. I don't want to lose him either. I'm filled with all the same frights. I guess we'll find all of this out in a few hours anyways, right? It's almost sunrise and the battle shouldn't be too long. Let's change the subject. I've worried enough. He strikes a thinking pose and remains silent for a few moments. Oh, here we go. If we win, we'll have a huge party. A party the world will talk about forever. We give everybody Mazane apples. I'll let you get back to what you were doing, Razzle. This isn't goodbye after all. We'll be seeing each other again for sure. He leaves my room with a smile, a direct counterpoint to how he entered. And finally, we have Velese. This room is pretty cool, Razzle. It makes sense that you'd get it too. Must feel good being royalty and all. I'm pretty confident after hearing Dominic's plan. I get to follow you to the castle too, so that makes me happy. You can trust me to have your back if anything bad happens. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. I've been practicing with those daggers I got from Mazeo, actually. It takes some getting used to, but I think I can hold my own. Not that the suits of armor require much to take down. It's true, they're pretty weak. The triumvirate focused on quantity, not quality. Hopefully that would be their downfall. To be honest, I'm really scared that we might not survive. I mean, victory usually comes at a cost. But what will we pay? If I make it out of this without my friends, I'll feel so hollow. I want to help fix Mazeo, but I don't want to do it alone. It's up to us to help undo the damage inflicted by our parents. With you on the throne, I think we could do it pretty easily. I really need to stop thinking so far ahead. This is the eve of a final battle. I should focus on that. Getting lost in thought on the battlefield would be the death of me. So let's just enjoy this moment, shall we? This might be the last time we're able to hang out. I hate the ownership by freaking out and acting stupid. Now tell her it's fine. I enjoy her company regardless. Besides, I'm sharing a lot of the same worry. We're in this together. If we met up to launch the attack, we'd have no idea what came next. Well, at least I don't feel so alone anymore. Fortin's always so carefree no matter what happens. Talking to him, you never guess we could all die here. Before I stop being so gloomy, can you promise me one thing? It'll make you feel better, and morale is what we need right now. I nod, but it's really dependent on what the favor entails. If I do end up dying out there, can you help repair Mazeo? I just want to see a happy nation. It's gone through so much. Our parents heard it, so we should be the one to mend it. I nod. That's definitely something I can do for her. Good. We can move on to better things. You know, I've been thinking about how far we've come. We've seen so much, and I feel like a totally different person. I wonder what would have happened if things were different. What if your introduction ceremony wasn't cancelled? What if you never got that deceiving vision? Who would we be, if not for all that's happened so far? I mean, we're simple residents of Vahn just a while back, but now we stand on Balteus, ready to fight the rules of the world. I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it unfold right in front of me. But you know, I'm not sure which version of myself I'd rather be. It's not an easy thing knowing how twisted the world truly is. Obviously, we can't go back and change anything. But it's weird to think about. And it was all out of our control. Let's hope after this we can take things in the direction we want. The people will be free to live as they please. They'll never have to lose their homes or comply with tyrants. If that's the end goal here, then I say changing was worth it. Think of it that way, I agree. I'm glad we haven't changed too much. Thank you so much for inviting me over, Razzle. I feel a lot better than I did just a few minutes ago. I guess we'll see you when we gather to launch the attack. Alright, I believe that's it. So, all we have now is to end the journey. But not on this episode, on the next episode. I'm pretty sure it's just the finale from here on out, so if you liked the video, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe, ring the bell, be a Ringling Dazzler, check out the Ko-fi, check out the Patron, check out all that fun stuff in the description. You know, I cram lots of things in there, information, links, stuff. Check it out. It's all fun. I got nothing else to say except be here or be square, fasten your seatbelts, and to all of you who have followed since the beginning, thank you so very much. It means a lot. So, that being said, my name is Razzle Joestar, and I will see you later. Take care.